Welcome to the channel, guys. We are looking at Bryant furnace. Actually quit working on us. Now for the past few days it's been making some kind of a weird noise. Now that we have it turned on, it's vibrating and it's making this awful motor sound. So let's get this cover off. So that is kind of loud. You can see how badly that motor is vibrating. It's missing something on this end too. We'll just go ahead and shut it off. So that seems like our inducer motor is making all that noise. It most likely are the fan blade on the other end of the motor here, as most of the time they fall apart, they crack off, and now it's way imbalanced making it do that. So instead of just replacing this inducer motor and the cage on the other side of that, I think we're better off replacing this whole inducer housing. They do come that way, or you can buy them separately. So let's get this off and see what it looks like on the inside. Now I've already disconnected the power to the motor. Obviously my main switch and the breaker is off, so there's no power being supplied to the unit. Next, what we're going to do is everything that's attached to it, these are part of this, so that'll stay with it. There's a switch here that we can just unscrew from the housing here. There's actually only one screw up top here, so we'll get that off. Our inducer motor not working correctly. Like I said, the cage most likely falling apart, and it just can't create enough vacuum for the switches to close. So our burners are not coming on, so it's shutting off eventually. So to remove this assembly, I had to switch off, only one screw, and you'll also have to loosen up these clamps that go here. And there's only 4 screws holding the whole assembly in. There's one here, there's one here, and accordingly there's 2 at the bottom, one here, and one in here. Once we loosen those up, there's also a drain line here at the bottom. There's no clamp on this particular one, so we'll get that line off. And once it's away, you might have to pull it a little bit. You want to take a tool, something like this, or a screwdriver, to loosen up this connection from this pipe. And then we should be able to remove this complete assembly out of the way. So after removing 4 of these long bolts and the hose clamp off, I was able to slide it off from that side. You just want to make sure there's no wires or anything catching, and you should be able to pull the whole thing just like this. So once you remove these housing bolts that's holding this whole thing in, you do want to keep these. Your new one might not come with new hardware. Taking a look at the other side, here's that squirrel cage that's on the inside of this. Now mine I've repaired before. They tend to break right in the center here from the shaft of the motor, and that's what creates your vibrations and noise. And I'm sure this will have some fins missing, because as it kind of imbalances, it'll hit the housing, and sometimes it'll actually crack the housing at the same time. Our new replacement unit, you want to go ahead and compare everything, make sure if there's any parts that you need to swap from that to this, you can do that before it's bolted in. Now in my case, everything's fine, other than I need to put a plug on this side instead of the top here as it's on here. So we'll swap that over. You want to make sure the other side is the same where it plugs into, and obviously your electrical connector. In my case, everything looks good. Let's go ahead and get this thing in. So I was able to take a shot back and clean the area out. Ready to go ahead and bolt this new unit on. Now before you do that, one thing on the back, you want to make sure these extension pieces, where it mounts to, they do come with the new units. They're in a separate little bag. You want to make sure those get installed. So there should be a total of 4 of them, 2 on top, 2 at the bottom. So I was able to get the whole inducer assembly in place. Everything's buttoned up, our pressure switch back on. Make sure all the hoses and wires are connected. Now I actually have it running. You can see everything's functioning as it should, nice and quiet. And if you look through the sight glass, you can see the burners are on, and that has solved our issue. So that was fairly simple to do on this particular furnace here. Hopefully this video helps someone out. It's not hard to do as long as you can get the right parts. Now it's probably not a bad idea to replace this pressure switch at the same time while you're at it. And I'll put all these parts in the description for you. Hopefully it's helped someone out. I thank you for watching.